Looking for a way to make a statement without saying a word? Shop I Am All Things Clothier, the brand that lets your wardrobe do the talking. Our shirts aren't just clothing, they're bold declarations of who you are and where you're going. Whether you're crushing your goals, embracing self love, or simply looking to inspire, our designs keep you focused and stylish. So why just wear a shirt when you can wear your mindset? Visit IamEX313.com and choose the shirt that speaks to your journey today because you're more than just one thing. You're everything that you speak. Your circle will change as you accomplish your goals and level up. Everybody can't go. And we live. Happy Wednesday and welcome to another Everybody Can't Go Convo. I'm your host, Jessi Holley, and as always, I got some information for you guys today. You know that this month we have been keeping the know in November. No, 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 and no, this November. So today I wanted to dive a little bit deeper. We all know that tonight is one of the biggest party nights of the year. Tonight is the day before Thanksgiving. I don't know about you guys, but back in my day, this used to be like the biggest party night ever. Everybody was going out, going to have fun. Make sure if you are get the Uber, get your Lyft on the way home. Please stay safe tonight. But with that being said, the holiday is right around the corner. And by right around the corner, I mean tomorrow. So we've been talking about the holiday season, how pretty much that starts from Halloween running through New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, whichever one you want to count. For me, I'm like, you know what? Just keep the holiday going until MLK Day. Shout out to him. But tomorrow is Thanksgiving for those of us who are in the US, and for our listeners who are abroad. If you haven't heard about what Thanksgiving is, it is an American holiday where there is a celebration of, I think, like the founding of America or something. Honestly, I don't know. I just know that it's a day off work. You get a free paid holiday, and Thanksgiving is one of those things for America. If you are abroad, please just Google it and see what we do over here. I can't even explain it well, other than family gathers and everyone eats. And it's a time for food, family, fun. But sometimes, while we're talking about the holiday can also bring a mixture of emotions. It can bring about conflict. It can dig up conflict that has been present during other times of the year that may have been lying dormant. Because now we're coming to a time where families are coming together, people are coming together to gather. Uh, that may not have seen each other or been around one another during other times of the year, or haven't connected in months because the holiday is coming up. We know that Thanksgiving, everybody's going to be there. And so, with that being said, we're going to dive a little bit deeper today into the how to's of keeping that happy in your holiday. So, for the past few weeks, we've been talking about different ways to honor yourself and having that strong, direct no this November, and to make sure that you were preparing yourself for getting ready for the full swing of the holiday season. So, there are a few things that I want to dive into today a bit so that we're able to talk about some of the coping mechanisms and some of the stress management strategies that I have used in the past and still use so that I can be sure to keep the happy in my holiday season so that I'm able to enjoy the season as opposed to working through all of the mixed emotions and working through any of the conflict and all of those other things. So, one of the things that is a tradition for a lot of people for Thanksgiving is going around the table while everyone's having dinner and you talk about, well, what are you thankful for? A lot of us make that post on social media, or we choose to make a post unprompted to share with everyone else the things that we're thankful for, whether it's on that day, during that specific moment, or even doing reflections throughout the year of the things that we're thankful for. And one thing that I noticed very recently, I heard something that was very profound. In a conversation, I received the message that we should be thankful for those who do show up for us versus focusing on those who don't show up for us. And I held on to that and I'm like, oh, that is really good. And I'm going to make sure to pass it along to my listeners because it reminded me of the entire Keeping the Happy in the Holidays message and how I've been talking about that for the past few weeks, specifically because there are so many different things that can bubble up or boil up during the holiday season. And even though for me, of course, I love the holidays, I love the gatherings, I love the experience, I love having fun, getting together, the socializing, the gift giving, all of those different aspects of the holiday season. Sometimes I even love to just get some ice cream, sit on a bench, take that lactate or two, and people watch. Just watch other people and all of the hustle and bustle. Enjoy the decorations that are going up in the neighborhoods, the decorations that are going up all over the mall, and just watching other people have a good time. Or if they look like they're not having such a good time, I choose to think that whatever it is that they're currently stressed with or that they're going through, it's all for a good cause, so that they're able to have that awesome holiday experience on one day or another with their family. And ultimately leading to something that for them will be a joyful and happy experience. So when I had this conversation, I'm like, you know what, that is really good because a lot of times I hear people talk about, well, or I have heard people talk about the holiday season not being a time of joy and happiness, but more of a reminder of loved ones who have been lost previously, which we can take a moment of silence for those people. And also, it can be a time of remembering the things or situations, the dynamics, and just the energy that we've lost. And that is a very real reality for some people during the holiday. I've been a person who's always made sure that my door was open because if you choose to not or don't want to be alone during the holiday, I'm like, you know what? It may not be with your family, but you do have somewhere to go and you do have somewhere to come to where you can enjoy a good meal. You'll be surrounded by good people and you can get loved on a little bit. But though that's the reality that I create for those around me, those who know me personally, there are many people who do not have such a support system, who are not attached to such a circle. So, if you are listening, I very much hope that that is not you. But if it is, we're going to go through a few things so that you can shift your focus on things that are positive about this season and so that you aren't focusing on what you lack or what you wish you had, but focus on those great things that you do have in your midst, and also some of the things that you may be doing to yourself that you're just not noticing with taking on the additional responsibility and just all of the things, all of the things, all of the things that are involved with the holiday season. So, I did say you do have a choice. So, the first thing that I will tell you is make sure that you choose happiness, whatever that looks like for you. There will be a lot of self regulation and a lot of self management and self awareness that will have to go on so that you are choosing happiness and what exactly that means to you and for you. So that does include that you don't have to engage with people or events or situations that are not serving your best interest, that are not adding value to your life, that are not adding to your happiness, especially during this season. So every holiday season, there's one or two things if not a myriad of things that you may find as you think back through the years that may have been recurring sources of issue or recurring sources of challenge. Sometimes there's that one family member that they're not happy unless someone else or other people are unhappy. There may be that one aunt that always has to take a jab at how you put on a few pounds this year, or you aren't looking so great. You may have that drunken cousin or uncle that just has one too many and the night kind of falls apart from there. But rest assured, if that's you, I'm not saying that it's you. I'm not saying that it's me. What I am saying is we have a lot of stimulation and a lot of things coming in that are showing us picture perfect families on our screens, whether it's that phone screen, a TV screen, your iPad screen, your computer screen. Think about every commercial that you are seeing during the holiday season where you are constantly being shown and pumped video clips and images of only happy families that couldn't possibly ever have conflict to resolve or have disagreements. Guess what? That's not real. It is to promote happiness, promote positivity, but ultimately, all of those subliminal things that are being shown to you and all of those things that we're seeing, although we would all love to have that picture perfect family that's shown, what it's designed to do is get you in the spirit, get you feeling a certain type of way so that you will buy. When you are aware of what the purpose of those things are, it allows you to do two things. One, be aware of the fact that every family is not perfect, including your own. So that is an unrealistic expectation. And number two, it moves me into one of my first points, which is making sure that you manage those finances. All of those things that you're seeing that are promoting those feel good hormones. And it's, yes, it's a part of keeping the happy in the holiday, but we will keep the happy in the holiday and we will keep our budget. We will keep our budget. Blowing the bank and going out of budget, not managing your finances during the holiday season can definitely be a source of contention, a source of stress, and be one of those little drops in the bucket during this season that may land things not feeling so happy because we aren't either aware or we made a plan and did not stick to it. So be sure that number one, you are managing your finances. Do create a shopping list. Well, today you've probably already finished shopping by now, but I would recommend that you refer back to what was your budget for that Thanksgiving dinner that you guys are starting to prepare tonight and that we'll enjoy tomorrow and those leftovers on Friday. What was the budget that you created for your Thanksgiving holiday? Did you stick to that budget? If you didn't, you do have the opportunity to do the hard thing, and you aren't going to like it, but you can help to balance that budget out by any overspending that you did, deduct it from your Christmas budget. That's if you overspent. Remember, we're about taking accountability and setting boundaries with ourselves. So sometimes in holding yourself accountable, you do have to put yourself on punishment. And for this year, putting yourself on punishment means that the Thanksgiving budget that you blew, you have to pay yourself back. And you're going to pay yourself back from the Christmas budget so that we aren't going into the new year in a deficit. The next thing that I want you guys to pay attention to, and we've talked about this a lot this November, managing those expectations. Now, when you're managing those expectations, you're managing the expectations not only of others, but you're managing the expectations that you have of yourself and that you have for others. So, there's three different ways that we're looking at managing those expectations. We are looking at making sure that we are not comparing. Again, talking about that picture perfect view of this perceived perfect family with no conflict, no challenges whatsoever. It's not real. Making sure that you aren't comparing your holiday dinner to every other holiday dinner that you're going to see as you unbutton those pants because you ate too much and you're going to start scrolling. Do fight the urge to compare all of your pictures or the lack thereof. Remember to not scroll through with comparison in mind, looking at what everyone else is doing, and then in your head, whether it's subconscious or not. And we're going to make sure that it's not subconscious because we're bringing it to the forefront. Make sure that that comparison is not something that you are making to beat yourself up or something that is becoming an energy drainer for you. Remember, when you're managing those expectations, it's just one day. Whether for you it's going to be a great day or whether in the past it has been a not so great day for you, it's only one day. We just got to get past that Thursday. So if you're deciding to suck it up and go to a dinner that you would not like to attend, if you are literally exhausted and this is the only day, the only holiday day that you don't have to work, if this is your downtime that you would very much like to use for self care, it's only one day. So you choose whether or not you will use that day to honor yourself and the things that you need, or if you're willing to make that sacrifice to go and participate in activities and or run errands, do other things that you may or may not have the energy to do. Do be mindful of that. Manage those expectations that others may have of you, and also manage the expectations that you have of yourself. Make sure that you do that body scan and really takes the time to think about what do you actually need this holiday season so that you can go ahead and make the decisions that are best for you. And also make sure that in managing those expectations that you are setting boundaries. Again, if this is your only day off or one of your only days off, be very mindful of how you're spending that day. Be very mindful, but be mindful of how you're spending the day. It may not be necessary or it may not be the best idea if you are going to participate in family functions for you to stay the entire time. Go ahead and set some boundaries with yourself, with your spouse, and you guys work together to set a time limit on it. Or if it's just you traveling alone or you're traveling with your immediate family, do decide before you go how much time you're going to dedicate to that and how long you will stay. And so that everyone is on the same page and you can make sure that you have a good day overall. And if you do need that time for rest and respite, that you have built that time into your day for you. That moves me into my next point, making sure that you take care of yourself. We always talk about that self care Saturday, that self care Sunday. During the holiday season, it's very easy for every Saturday and Sunday to become all about errands, shopping, groceries, gifts, house supplies, decorations, all of the things, cleaning, deep cleaning, preparing spaces for people to visit. There are all of these things that we have to do where are we paying attention to and monitoring? Are you still making time to take care of yourself while you're preparing your home, your space, or while you are preparing to take care of and care for others? It's very easy to let the holiday season kind of just get away and your self-care routine and or taking care of yourself getting away with that. I want you to be mindful of a few routine disruptors. November and December, big months for when to quote unquote fall off. We've already talked about falling off with the finances. Be very mindful of taking care of yourself and making sure that you're watching your food and drink intake. It's very hard to fall off of our clean eating. If there's a diet or something that we're doing, very easy to fall off. One day becomes leftovers, becomes a third day of leftovers, becomes going out with our family, becomes going out to eat, becomes just grabbing something quick while we're shopping, and then so on. It can be a snowball effect very quickly if we don't get ahead of it and make sure that we're pre-planning our meals, pre-planning our intake of not only food, but also pay attention to how many drinks are you having? Are we exceeding that recommended or what is it? It's allowed or tolerable by the doctor or whatever. Basically, my point is, are you starting to consume 3, 4, 5, 6 drinks per day on a daily basis? What is your normal intake? What is your normal intake of salts, sugars, oil, unhealthy fat, alcohol? What is your normal level of consumption of some of the other things that we do when we're sitting around relaxing? Pay attention to whether or not you find yourself starting to slip into overindulgence. I get it. We all want to have that one day, but even then, be mindful of whether or not it will cause you to fall off the wagon, per se, and set some things in place before you go so that you can be sure that this doesn't derail you. And remember, that's derailing you in the financial department as well as in the physical and mental and emotional health departments as well. And also, while we are talking about taking care of your body and those routine disruptors, part of what gets disrupted in your normal routine is your sleep cycle. So we're looking at sleep loss and we're looking at missing your workouts. If you have a specific gym regimen, we already know what days we're off work. We already know what days that family is visiting from out of town. And we do have the option to go ahead and get our 30-day calendar or get a planner for the months of November, December. May as well go into January with it. But we'll just talk about for the next 6 weeks. Get your calendar out and make sure that you mark these things down. Missing your gym time because someone is visiting, because someone needs to get picked up from the airport. You already know what time you're supposed to make that airport run. Put on those gym clothes on the way so that you can make that drop off and head straight to the gym. Oh, but I would like to greet them. Maybe have a conversation ahead of time to see if they could also wear their gym clothes as their flight clothes. Perhaps if it's not too early or too late, you guys can go ahead and pack up in the car, put their things in the trunk, hit the gym together, and then head home. Make it into a bonding activity of sorts. But be sure that, and it doesn't have to be to or from the airport, just be sure that when your routine is being, or your schedule is being shuffled, make sure that you schedule and write in those workouts in different places when you know that there are things that are going to distract you, when you know that there are things that will take your normal routine off kilter. Make sure that you're managing that. And then, more importantly, or just equally as important, that sleep schedule. There is an extreme amount of sleep loss when we are looking at what we're doing during the holidays, whether it's staying up late, talking with your family members, whether it's making those early or very late airport runs, whether it's you just have so many things to do, and at the end of each workday you're staying up later so that you can prepare your home, so that you can get those extra groceries, so that you can put up additional decorations. And just an extra 30 minutes to an hour per day of additional tasks, that is enough to completely throw your sleep cycle all the way out of whack. And once it's out of whack, we know that it can take a few weeks for us to get back on track with getting our sleep cycle or sleep schedule back regular. Make sure that you're paying attention to that. And if you're staying up later, do try to get up at the same time so that you don't completely throw yourself off, and, plan activities accordingly. And or if you're dedicated to spending some extra hours being awake during the holiday season, be sure that you have a buffer and some space in there so that you can, quote unquote, catch up on rest, even though there's no such thing as catching up on sleep. But I digress. Make sure that you have some time baked in so that you're able to get that rest and respite, so that you're able to recharge before it's time to get back to work on Monday, or if you've taken those additional days off of your job to spend time with family and friends. And also with those routine disruptions, make sure that you again say November to those expectations. Within the routines that we have established, there will be many things coming from many different directions. It's okay to delegate when needed. It's also okay to just completely say no this November. It's okay to say no. Make sure that you're monitoring your capacity and how much time and energy you actually have to dedicate to all of the additional things that are piled onto our plates during this season. Try to make it a habit to say no first, just in case, so that you can check your schedule, check your capacity, check and see, are you able to actually take care of someone else's request of you? And if you are able to, you can always call back, get back with them to say, hey, you know what? I took a look at my schedule, and as a matter of fact, I can help you out with that. If they've already found someone else to do so, great. But we want to make sure that we're not overextending ourselves and also creating additional sources of conflict by prematurely saying yes when we are already at or beyond capacity. That is another big area and source of stress when you are already over capacity. You're so used to saying yes, you're very used to being helpful to others. When you are that caring and kind person, sometimes you're already running on fumes, but your automatic answer is yes. That's why we need to practice no this November so that you can check in with self, be aware, and make sure that your yes is an actual yes and that you're able to keep your word with that. Sometimes you can incur an additional set of stress. You notice throughout this entire episode, I've been talking about all of these little things, one by one, here and there, all of these little things that are piling up. Because there are so many little things happening in your schedule, that no is important because the stress of having to go back and either try to figure out how you're going to get it done, or if you have to go back to the person and say, you know what? I'm so sorry. I actually told you I could, but I really cannot. I'm so sorry. I let you down. Is that not just another drop of stress in the bucket? So sometimes we'll have to do the hard thing up front so that we're able to make things easier for ourselves on the back end. And when you're making things easier for yourself on the back end, you also are saving someone else an issue, a challenge, or a small source of grief for what's going on with them as well. So do pay attention to this isn't just for you. By you being self aware and being mindful of your own capacity, your current mental and emotional state, whether or not you have the energy to get some of these things done, whether or not you even desire to participate in some of the things that you will be offered, making sure that you take inventory of yourself and all of the things that you have to do. That is also helping other people around you because you are able to be clear and concise when you are communicating what it is that you need, what you will or will not do, what your boundaries are, and ultimately that helps you to manage your expectations as well as the expectations that others have on you. And finally, you can also manage your expectations that you have of other people. So, as we wrap this episode up, I want to remind those of you guys who don't have the greatest association with what the holiday season looks like. Remember that this is a time for celebration, and you can look for and find reasons to celebrate. We're celebrating those who do show up for us. We're not focusing on those who won't or can't show up for us. It's a time to remember the great times that you had with those who may no longer be here with us. Make sure that you do something in remembrance of them that will put a smile on your face. And if you do feel tearful and you have that moment, let it be a moment. Feel your feelings, work through those things, and put a concerted effort into having a good day and a good time. One of my favorite ways to put that smile on after there has to be a moment for tears is creating a new holiday memory of your own, whether it's a new tradition or doing an activity with loved ones or alone. Just because you're alone does not mean that you're lonely. But making that new holiday memory that will be something that you can then look back on and it will put a smile on your face. So, thank you guys for tuning in on today. Somebody told me about that. Apparently, that's a Midwest thing on today. Yeah, on today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have a happy holiday and have a special announcement. We have something super big, something huge coming up for you guys this holiday season. If it piques your interest and curiosity to find out what that thing is, go ahead and click that link below. Make sure you click that link, join our email list so that you can receive the blast and you can find out what the big things are that we have on the horizon for you guys so that you'll be the first to know about new products and merch, and also so that you can get special member pricing. You will be qualified for special member pricing if you click that link below. And there are some other freebies and different things that I have for you guys when you click that link below and sign up for our email list. So I can't wait for you guys to see all of the things that I have in store for you. Like, we got a ton of stuff. I'm super excited for you guys to get a hold of it. So make sure you click that link and you'll start to see the things that are popping up over the coming weeks here during the holiday season. And with that, we would like to thank you for joining us at another Everybody Can Go Convo, and we'll see you next week. Calling all Gen X women writers. Do you have a book inside of you just waiting to be written? It's time to stop sitting on that dream and start smiling at your completed manuscript. Join us for an unforgettable, fully immersive weekend retreat designed to take you from stuck to published. From March 14th through 16th, 2025, at a luxurious retreat home in Orlando, Florida, you'll be guided step by step by best-selling authors, experienced publishers, and your writing coach, Melissa T, who's authored 8 books and helped countless writers become bestsellers. This is your chance to unshackle the story that's been living inside of you for months or even years and release your voice to the world. Because when you share your words, you change lives one page at a time. Secure your spot today and get ready to write the book you were born to create. Save your spot now. Click the link below.